This video is not for the faint of heart. I will be talking about blood and twisted ankles and bones and fun stuff. Happy summer, everyone. I'm back. Hello. It's summer vacation has started. Let's just get our tan on because I obviously am a ghost. And let's get our summer bodies going. Just kidding. It's not ready. It's not ready at all. I love hearing about injury stories for some weird reason. I just like hearing them talking about like what happened, what they were doing, and what they were like had to do to heal themselves, if they had to go through like PT or like complete reconstruction. I don't know. I just find that fascinating, and I thought I'd share my injury stories with you guys because I have a lot, because I grew up an athlete and also an idiot kid, so I have a lot to share. So sit back and enjoy me talking about my pain. My first ever injury was when I was probably, I want to say 5 maybe? I don't know for sure, but I used to do gymnastics. And one day we were like practicing on the springboard, you know, like little like, woo, springboard. And it was my turn, so I was ready to go. So I took a running start and I jumped on the springboard, and I guess I jumped too much, or like I was just a powerful kid, you know, already a star athlete. But I like flipped and landed on my left arm and snapped it in half. And again, I was young, so I don't remember much. The main thing I do remember is that my uncle had to come because my dad was like off of business doing something. So my uncle drove down to help my mom because she had 2 other kids to take care of. And I just remember him saying like, "Can you move your hand?" as I'm like in the hospital. I'm like, "I think so." And then I just like fall asleep because they gave me anesthesia. But that was my first injury. I got a pretty pink cast, and I had it on for quite a while, I'm pretty sure. And I just remember I had a cast and it was really cute. It was pink. My next big injury that I remember, and like remember it happening and remembering the pain, was when I played soccer. I played soccer for a really long time. I was the goalie in left midfield because I was left-footed. So I was in the goal, and I had goalie training like the other day, and the goalie trainer said, you know, run out at them and scare them, go for the ball, and like slide down and get the ball, and it'll scare them. And so I'm in the game, and this girl's coming down with the ball. I'm like, okay, I got this. I'm gonna run out and I'm gonna like get it, and then, yeah. So I run out and I like drop to get the ball. I don't know if it was the ball or her foot or her shin guard, I don't know, but something smacked me right in the nose, and the world goes black for like, I don't even know how long, but for me, I like woke up again and I started crying because it hurt so bad. Because I slid into this girl with the ball, and so I had to get taken out. It didn't bleed, I don't remember it bleeding. But I was still pretty young at that age too. I can't remember the exact age, probably like 8 or 9, 10. I don't know. I don't know, but that was pretty bad. I remember that hurting a long time. This next injury, I actually had to go in and get x-rays because they thought I broke my nose. Enjoy! Let's set the scene. I'm on the swim team. That rhymed. I'm a poet and I didn't even, there's a spider. I was on the swim team. And okay, so we were warming up for a swim meet, and we were in a different pool. And how the pool set up was very weird. Here's like the concrete, like where like kids were walking on the concrete. And then they, you know, they have that lip. And so the lip, you know, kind of will sit like this. Yes. And their lip was very weird because at our pool, it would be above the water. At their pool, it was kind of below and it was longer. So that means that I knew it was going to mess me up. I was like, I don't like that. I have a feeling I won't like it. And boy, was I right. So we were warming up and I was doing backstroke, you know, where you like, the chair has a back, I can't really do that well. So I'm doing the backstroke for a warm up. And when you do backstroke competitively, you have a thing called flip turn, where you like, as you swim, usually in freestyle, you swim and then you go under, you flip, and you push off the wall. Michael Phelps does it, just watch what he does. So, in backstroke, you know, you have a certain amount of strokes, like, okay, 8, and then you flip, and you go under, you do your flip turn. So at this pool, I guess I counted wrong, or I forgot my counts, or that lip thing messed me up, because I was doing my counts, I was like, okay, and flip. So I turned, and I went down to like go under, and I smashed my face on the side of the pool, like in the metal. And I smashed my nose and like this whole part of my face. And after it happened, I kind of like stood up like in shock. I was like, wait, what just happened? And then I kind of like went to touch my nose. It was like, oh my god, my nose hurts. I took my hand away and there's just blood pooling in my hand. I look around, there's like blood in the pool, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't know what to do. And I was like 13. So I'm holding my nose, I don't know what to do, and my friend sees me. She's like, oh my god, what happened? I'm like, I hit my face on the pool and it hurts. I don't get blood everywhere, so I'm holding my nose, but I feel dizzy. I'm dizzy and I don't know what's going on. And she helped me out of the pool, and I started walking towards like my parents, like our tent, all that stuff. And one of my friend's moms is a nurse, and she saw blood. She's like, oh my god, blood, run to the kid. And all these moms are surrounding me, and they set me down, and my mom's there, and they're like looking at me, and then they're like, okay, take off her swim cap and goggles, because we don't know who it is. And as soon as they took off my stuff, my mom's like, oh my god, that's Darby. I'm like, hi mom, I'm hurt, obviously. And yeah, that was really bad. I got concussion, minor concussion probably, but I couldn't swim that meet. I had to get x-rays the next day because they thought I broke my nose, and you can't tell anymore because they sanded it down, but I chipped that tooth just slightly. And if you look at pictures, or I'm looking at the screen right now, you can tell if I look at you straight on, my nose is crooked just slightly. Looking like directly at the camera, my nose is crooked. Yeah. Maybe I'm just messed up already. I don't know. But yeah, that was really bad. That was like so far in my life, like one of the worst injuries I've ever had. Now we're on to the bigger injuries, because they happen further along in my life. So it's the last day of freshman year of high school, and we had volleyball open gym. And I was so excited to go, and I was so excited too because I had a date later with a kid, and I won't say his name because everyone in my town knew that we dated freshman year. And yeah, hey, what's up? So we're doing hitting lines for volleyball, you know, just warm up, toss the ball, setter sets it, you hit it, simple stuff. And I was hitting outside at the time, and I went to hit, and as soon as I came down, my ankle, oh my god, I don't even know what happened, how I landed on it so badly, but basically like the ball of my ankle touched the ground. Like I rolled my ankle so bad, I was so close to breaking it, like everything. And so as soon as it happens, I drop and I'm screaming. I'm like, oh my god! Ah! I can't scream right now, my sister's sleeping. But it was so painful. The whole gym stopped and looked at me because they know me. Like, I'm not a kid to cry in front of people. I'm not a kid. I have a high pain tolerance too. I'm not a kid that's like, oh, I got hit in the shoulder, I can't play. Like, I'll go until something pops, snaps, or breaks, essentially. So it hurt so bad. My mom had to come get me. They had to wheel me out on a rolly chair, and I had to go to the emergency room. And my ankle looked nasty. It was my left ankle, that one. I don't know if it's your right, I don't know. But my left ankle, and it hurt so bad, and it looked like I had a golf ball under my ankle. It was so bad. It was purple and yellow. Eee! So I had an air cast. They didn't want to give me crutches for some reason. I don't know, but I had an air cast, and I just had to do a little bit of rehab to like fix it, you know, like with the bands, you know, like stretch your foot and then do your ABCs, all that stuff. If you're an athlete, you should understand what I'm talking about. So yeah, and I think like to this day, it's slightly bigger than my right ankle, but I messed up my right ankle a lot too, so they kind of even out, you know. So that was one of my bigger ones. Now we're moving on to 2 basketball injuries. Woohoo, I did basketball too. If you couldn't tell by the height and size of me, that I did basketball. So, let's get into those. This first one was kind of a reoccurring, like, not a big injury in its way, like a moment where I'm like, oh, that happened. I'm just like, this was an annoying, throbbing, like, dull pain injury that happened, like, for 2 years of my life. And it was my shoulders. So, during basketball, freshman and sophomore year, you know, it takes a lot of running. And I noticed that when I ran, like, right here, like, really bad, when I would run, it'd feel like grinding, and it'd be like pain, like sharp pains going in. And I didn't know what was going on. So I just kept running, you know, whatever. Eventually, this side got so bad, or was it this side? I don't know which side it was. It got so bad that I wouldn't run with it. I'd keep it at my side, and I'd run with the other arm. I looked like a freaking dork. And I finally, it hurt so bad, like, it was like searing pain. It was hard to catch my breath with it, so I had to get it checked out. Not by a doctor, because I wasn't gonna do that, because they'd tell me, don't play. I'm not gonna do that. So I went to my school trainer, and it was just like overuse, basically. And I had knots in my back, and they were so tight that they were bringing everything else like out of whack, and so the sockets where my shoulders were, they weren't in place all the way. So when I ran, it'd be really, really painful. So I did some arm exercises, and I got over it. It doesn't hurt me now sometimes when I go on runs, but during volleyball, no pain. The next injury, I almost forgot that it happened completely, because I don't know. This one happened probably towards the end of my sophomore season of basketball. I was like running, you know, a lot of running and all that stuff. I started feeling pain in my right calf / like Achilles area, and I didn't know what was up. I guess I wasn't stretching enough, but I just felt a lot of pain and discomfort. So I got heel inserts, because when I was younger, my Achilles would hurt really bad because I was growing so much, so I had inserts, and that helped. So I'm like, okay, inserts will help this time. And that helped for a little bit, and then finally it was a game, and it was like a varsity game, and I was in, and I was right at the half-court line, and I was like running, and something happened down there with the ball, and I like stopped. And then I saw I needed to get in there, so I like planted on my right foot to go. I like felt and heard, and like internally, weird to say, but like internally I felt pops and like clicks. And I like kind of froze, and I was like, oh, that like really hurt. And I went to go again, like went to push off again. I was like, oh no, I can't walk. And so I looked at my coach, and I was like, Coach, I can't walk. Coach, something happened. And he had torn his Achilles too, so he was kind of looking at me like, oh no. And I like kind of like, I started crying because I hurt really bad. I had to like hobble off to like get him. Him and another dad, or I think the trainer, they carried me off the court because I could not walk. and she put me instantly into a bucket of ice, like put my foot in. I was like, oh my god, this hurts, I'm sweaty. Like, and we had a full crowd too, so people just saw me like kind of look at my coach cry, and they carried me off. Like, it wasn't like a big injury that people could like be like, oh, she hurt her ankle. No, it was just like a little to myself, like, oh, I injured myself. And I was on crutches actually for a week. I could not push off. And what my trainer had kind of explained, like, I popped some tendons, you know, like, you know, muscles are like strings of stuff. I popped some of those strings, I guess. So I was on crutches for a week, and I had to ease myself back into basketball, which I didn't mind because I didn't like it at that point anymore. So yeah, that was my last basketball injury, like major one, you know. Other basketball injuries were probably like, you know, stubbed fingers. You know, my fingers look kind of messed up and they like click because I've stubbed them so many times. You know, a few rolled ankles. My eye bled once because a girl's nail. That was in 8th grade. You know, simple stuff. A lot of bruises. Those are just simple basketball injuries. But that was the end of my basketball career after sophomore year and end of my injuries. That was part 1 of this 2-part video. I realized when I started editing that this video was going to be about 30 minutes long, 29 minutes, something like that. And I was thinking that's too much, cannot do that. So I have most of my injuries in this video, and then the next video is going to be my biggest one, my main one, my most like important one, I guess, most relevant, which is my hip injury from volleyball. So that video should be up really soon, so stay with it, stay with me. And yes, so I'm gonna close this video, subscribe, and all that stuff, and I'll see you in the next video super soon. Bye!